All right, y'all, we are back with another video. Now, I had to bring y'all another, pretty much a part two to this, what this woke bishop tried to do to President Trump. Pretty much attacked President Trump, his entire family, and JD Vance, just attacked everybody. And like I said yesterday, you can see the look on Melania's face. She was so freaking pissed off at this bishop, which is a woman. Now this bishop then went on a whole media tour, running to The View, running to CNN. We got all those clips ready for y'all. Now, that was the whole setup for her to try to do that to President Trump at a church, turn the church into politics and start telling President Trump that he shouldn't close the border, don't send all the illegal aliens back, and all type of stuff. And like I said, you can see the look on Melania's face. She was so freaking pissed off that she just looked like she wanted to get up and say something. You can see how disgusted President Trump was at this bishop for the stuff that she was saying, pretty much trying to make Donald Trump go back on his words of what he was going to do. This right here is just bad. Now, this first clip, I'm just going to show y'all a little snippet of what the video was about yesterday, and we're gonna get into the clips. And not only that, towards the end of the video, I'm gonna let y'all know exactly where President Trump, because he just went off, he just snapped on this bishop. So you don't want to miss this. Make sure you watch the entire video, because I don't want y'all to miss any of this. All right, so please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, that way y'all can stay up to date with everything. Without further ado, let's go ahead and start off with this first clip, because you can kind of see what happened yesterday in church.
In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families. Some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals. They may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes.
Wow.
And are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples.
Now, that right there was what that woke bishop saying. You can see how disgusted President Trump was looking. He like, what in the world is this woke bishop is talking about? Talking about illegal aliens. Some of them are good. You should just think about what you're doing. I mean, you can see the look on JD Vance. You see JD Vance was saying something to his wife about what the world is going on. And she said all of that stuff there. Think about it. She was in a church and turned it into politics. And so now she done ran to The View trying to get them content. This right here is what it was all about. It was all about saying that in church. So now she hitting her little roundabouts, going on all the woke media, CNN, MSNBC. That right there is exactly what this woke bishop wanted. Now, check out what she just said on The View.
They could, and leave, as they say, leave the rest to God.
Bishop, predictably, you seem to strike a nerve. President Trump initially said yesterday it was, quote, not a good service, unquote. But overnight, he took to social media to say you were a, quote, radical left hardline Trump hater, unquote, that you brought the church into politics and that you owe your church and the public an apology. Now, given your role.
But that is true. That's what she did. She turned the church into politics. That's exactly what she did. I want to leave it here, President Trump. You should do this. So he's supposed to listen to a woke bishop that don't even like him. But he's supposed to take your word talking about don't close up the border, leave the illegal aliens alone. He should do this. He should do that. That's what she did. Turned the church into politics. That is a disgusting thing to do. She should apologize to that church.
It doesn't seem surprising that you would speak out for the marginalized, as anyone who's read the Bible and knows the path of Jesus. But do you think your message is being misconstrued and politicized?
Oh, well, sure. Yeah. But I think if you read what I said, and I mean, how could it not be politicized, right? We're in a hyper political climate. One of the things I caution about is the culture of contempt in which we live, that immediately rushes to the worst possible interpretations of what people are saying and to put them in categories such as the ones you've just described. That's part of the air we breathe now. And I was trying to speak a truth that I felt needed to be said, but to do it in as respectful and kind a way as I could. And also to bring other voices into the conversation, which voices that had not been heard in the public space for some time.
That is a bunch of, that right there is just a load of crap. That's a load of crap. We all seen how uncomfortable President Trump, J.D. Vance, the entire Trump family, you seen Laura, you seen Don Jr., you seen them all like, I cannot believe this is a Trump hater. That's exactly what it is. She's a Trump hater. She got videos from 2020 where she was talking crap about Donald Trump. And he's supposed to listen to you about, oh, don't mess with the illegal aliens, but you ain't talking about the illegal aliens who took out people's daughters, who took out innocent kids, who did this to Lake and Riley and a lot of more other people's children. You ain't talking about any of that. You ain't worried about any. You worried about illegal aliens than the American citizens. He been said he was going to close that border to stop all of this right here from happening. And you use a church and try to use God to try to get President Trump to go back on what he said he was going to do. So you thought he was just going to leave that church and say, you know what? That woke bishop is right. I'm not going to do this to the illegal aliens. And now that gives CNN and everybody else something to talk about. Now they can go around talking about Donald Trump lied. He said he was going to do this. He was going to close the border. Now he don't want to do it. And now she's making her rounds. Now check this out right here, what she said on CNN as well.
Bishop, I appreciate your time and your tone there, so serious and genuine. You see him, he's stone-faced, he then looks down, but he's listening to every word you say. As you made that personal plea to him, what were you looking at him in that moment? What kind of response were you perhaps hoping for in that moment?
I was looking at the president because I was speaking directly to him. I was also, frankly, as you do in every sermon, speaking to everyone who was listening through that one-on-one conversation with the president, reminding us all that in the people that are frightened in our country, the two groups of people that I mentioned are our fellow human beings, and that they have been portrayed in all throughout the political campaign in the harshest of lights that I wanted to counter as gently as I could with a reminder.
Now listen to what she said, counter. So she pretty much trying to make Donald Trump go back on his word. So she used a church to try to counter President Trump on what he already said he was going to do. He's trying to protect the American people by closing up the border and sending the illegal aliens back to where they come from because of what they done did. Because of what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris done allowed them to do. A lot of Americans that done got taken out because of these same illegal aliens that she's pleading Donald Trump to have mercy for. So that's what she did, used a church to try to counter Donald Trump. That's the reason why Donald Trump was just looking disgusted, like, if this just don't make any sense at all. And like I said, this is coming from a bishop that does not like Donald Trump. She has a history. We can go all the way back to 2020. She got a history of talking bad about Donald Trump, saying he's a bad president. He's this. But yet he's elected and he's supposed to listen to you, a person that don't even like him. It just don't make any sense at all. And like I said, she did all of this because she wanted to make her rounds, because she knew after she said this at that church, all the woke media that don't like Donald Trump was going to be trying to have this bishop on their show to try to talk crazy about Donald Trump. It's ridiculous.
Of their humanity and their place in our wider community. And I was speaking to the president because I felt that he has this moment now where he feels charged and empowered to do what he feels called to do. And I wanted to say, there is room for mercy.
No, it's not.
There's room for a broader compassion.
It's not room for mercy for no illegal aliens, ma'am. It's not room for that. It's not mercy for that. Do you know what these illegal aliens have done? Do you know what they have done? Taking up a lot of the hotels that, like I said, our soldiers can't even get because of them. What they did to the American people, taking out a lot of people. So you ain't worried about it until it happened to one of yours, until it happened to one of your loved ones. Then you will care about illegal aliens getting out of here. He's not going to have mercy for that. But we're going to get to that, y'all. Y'all stick around because President Trump finna respond.
We don't need to portray with a broad cloth in the harshest of terms some of the most vulnerable people in our society who are, in fact, our neighbors, our friends, our children, our friends' children, and so forth.
So you spoke, I like how you use the word gently, because it was gentle. I mean, it was intense and passionate, but yet it was gentle. It was not ugly or confrontational. Wouldn't expect it to be, but these are hard things to talk about in that context. You spoke obviously about undocumented migrants, also the LGBT community, the two communities you're talking about. I wanted to play a little bit more of what you said, and also, again, the president's reaction at that moment.
There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families. Some who fear for their lives. The vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President.
How you know they good neighbors? Do any illegal aliens stay by you? For you to say that they are good neighbors, do any of them stay by you, ma'am? I guarantee you, if somebody asks you that question, you're going to say, don't no illegal aliens stay by you nowhere. So you just throwing this out here, telling President Trump to have mercy on something he already said he was going to do. He was going to close the border. He don't want illegal aliens here. Look what they have done under Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Look how many that they have let across the border. Look how the Venezuela gangs has terrorized our country. Just think about all of that. And you sitting up here trying to use a church to go after President Trump. I mean, this is ridiculous, man. That bishop should be fired. She shouldn't even be a bishop, to be honest with you. She shouldn't even be a freaking bishop. This is ridiculous.
Some who fear for their lives. The vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes.
How you know?
And are good neighbors. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away.
Wow.
What made you decide to say all that today?
Well, these are the people that I know. These are not abstract people for me. These are actual people that I know. So I wanted to speak on their behalf.
Ma'am, how you going to speak on their behalf when they not even here legally? They not even here legally, and you talking about he need to have mercy. All you trying to do is give CNN and all these woke networks something to talk about. If Donald Trump whole campaign was, I'm going to get rid of illegal alien, I'm going to close the border. Think about that. Think about he said all of that. Then he go back on his word, listening to you by saying, you know what? I'm going to leave some of the illegal aliens here. That you know what? That bishop was right. What you think people are going to say? Oh, President Trump lied. He said he was going to do this. What you think CNN headlines going to be? President Trump lied. Let it be some illegal aliens that start taking out American citizens under President Trump and watch what happens. Watch all these woke networks be talking about him. Oh, how he going to talk about Joe Biden? Look what just happened under him. This is what they want to happen. This is, oh my God, man. That's why I say you seen the faces on Melania them. They was not happy at all. And they shouldn't be. What really got me is that she was using a church to do this. She brung politics into a church. The same thing Fannie Willis did a while back. Go to a church and talk about politics. Want to use God for politics.
I wanted to present a vision of what unity can look like in this country that is transcending of differences and viewpoints and acknowledging our common humanity.
Yes.
I wanted to speak in such a way that reflected that dignity and respect, but I also wanted to bring into that space the real humanity of the people that I was referencing.
That just don't make any sense at all. That is ridiculous, man. That is ridiculous. Now, this is the part right here where Donald Trump finally responded to this woke bishop. This is what President Trump said at 11:39 p.m. He said, the so-called bishop who spoke at the National Prayer Service on Tuesday morning was a radical left hardline Trump hater. And I agree with that 100%. You could tell, like I told y'all before at the beginning, we found videos of this woman going after Trump years ago, talking bad about him, and then want to use the church to try to tell him that he should listen to her. Talking about they are good neighbors, but I guarantee you none of them illegal aliens stay by her anywhere. But they are good neighbor. They pay taxes. How you know they pay taxes? Do they work for you? How you know they pay taxes? Then Trump said she brought her church into the world of politics in a very ungracious way. She was nasty in tone and not compelling or smart. She failed to mention the large number of illegal migrants that came into our country and killed people. That's what I was just talking about. She ain't talking about the ones that kill people, talking about not all of them are bad. How you know? All we know is that they came in and did this to innocent people. So he said, many were deposited from jails and mental institutions. It is a giant crime wave that is taking place in the USA. Apart from her inappropriate statements, the service was a very boring and uninspiring one. She is not very good at her job. She and her church owe the public an apology. And that right there is what President Trump said. So, like I said, man, y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. I definitely had to bring y'all this. I'm like, okay, this is what she did. That's why she said all of that stuff in church. So afterwards, she already knew CNN and all of them was going to call her to do interviews. You already knew The View was going to reach out. We already knew that was going to happen. That's why she did that. So, I mean, that right there is just crazy to me. I can't see how that woman is a bishop, to be honest. I cannot see. And using your church for politics. That right there is just crazy to me. But like I said, thank you all for watching. Like I said, y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this. Thank you all for watching, and I catch y'all in the next one.